Attention, who this story is about. If you don't text me after you see this video, we are not friends. Okay? We're done. Because I'm still waiting on this text back. I'm still waiting. And if you don't provide one... So I already filmed this whole video and my hair didn't look good. So here I am refilming it so that I can put this up because the story is too good. The story is too good for you guys not to see this quality content. Oh, we love a queen with receipts. Yeah, so you guys need to grab your snacks, your Cheez-It, not sponsored, and you need to grab your cookies, not sponsored, and you need to grab your tea. This is a cup, this is not sponsored. You need to grab everything you need because this is going to be a story and it might be a little long, just like my first story time, but you guys liked my first story time, okay? It's gotten the most views out of everything else I've ever done, so it seems like that's the only thing you guys really want to see. You just want some tea-filled story time, something dramatic. So here I am providing you with the good stuff, okay? So before you do anything, whoa, okay? You need to like this video. You need to give this video one of your thumbs. I'm so sorry. One of your thumbs is just gonna get today, okay? Because this video needs that thumb, okay? Okay, you can grow another one, I think, maybe, possibly. So just give this video a like, give it a thumbs up if you like my shirt. It says baby. Just kidding. Don't give it a thumbs up if you like my shirt. Give it a thumbs up if you like the video, if you like me, if you like my kitchen. If you like this background, give it a thumbs up. Hey. So, and also subscribe because you want to see more of these shenanigans. Shenanigans? If you want to see more of these shenanigans, you definitely should subscribe and be a part of the fam. But this intro is getting kind of long, and I said I wanted it to be short so we can get into the story time, but here I am rambling on like everybody else that I don't like. Okay, so I'm gonna give the backstory of this girl who is the main character. I gotta get some characters out of the way, feel me? Okay, so the girl that we're going to be talking about in this video, the one who did me dirty, you know who you are. We are going to name her Becky. Becky with the good hair. You know, not gonna comment on her hair. Her hair is fine. But we're gonna name her Becky. And then my coworker, who was the one helping me out with this little investigation, we're going to name her Amber because I am looking at YouTube in the corner of my eye and one of my subscriptions is Amber Shoal. Shout out to you. So we're gonna name her Amber. Okay, get it? Becky, Amber. Completely different white girl names. Thank you. Okay. So, basically, a little backstory on how I met her and who Becky is, you know. Okay, so Becky and I used to work together at this corporate place, this restaurant, and I was a hostess. I'm female. I was a hostess and she did something else in the restaurant, and I think if I tell you what that position was, it'll give it. She was an expo, okay? Leave it at that. She was an expo for the restaurant. I would host, you know, sit people down, bus tables, you know, take care of a waiting list. None of that is relevant to the story. Moving on. So basically we worked together and everything was cool. We were friends. We hung out outside of work before with no issues, okay? Remember that little nugget of information? Remember this little nugget of information I'm giving you because this is prime information that I'm giving you right now, okay? Prime information. So, we hung out before and everything was cool, and then she moved to Texas. After I quit and after she quit, she moved to Texas. So, I haven't seen her for months. So, fast forward to not the Friday that just passed. I'm filming this on a Monday. I don't know when you're watching this, but I'm filming it on a Monday and I'm hoping to get it up tonight because I already put on Snap that I'm putting up this petty story time. So hopefully, you know, hopefully I get this up today if I get it edited. Hopefully I can just leave it like largely unedited. So the Friday, not the one that just passed, but the Friday before that. So 2 Fridays ago, we had plans to hang out at my house, right? I was off for whatever reason. It was like a study week. So at my college, like they just give us like a week before after like our last class, and then you get a study week to study for all your finals, and then finals week is right after that. So we had plans, and because it was study week and I don't have any finals, I just have to go to final classes because I am a graduating nursing student and whatnot, and that's how everything just ended up for me this semester, for my last semester. Amen. I was off. So we made plans. We were gonna hang out at my house, and we were talking all about how we are gonna play Just Dance, what we're gonna do, and what we're gonna eat. We had plans to like cook something. We're gonna go to the grocery store. I think we're gonna possibly go shopping. Like we were talking about everything we're gonna do. We were so excited to see each other because she moved to Texas and she came back up to New York for a serious matter that I'm not like even gonna joke about. Like I'm not even gonna go there. Before I progress in the story, I forgot to give this little disclaimer. You know, this video is not for any malicious purposes. This video is not to bash anybody or make anybody insecure or anything of that matter. But I'm just, like I said, let me reiterate. If you don't text me after this, like, okay. So, we had plans to hang out and everything, and then basically we were supposed to hang out around 1 or 2-ish, and I texted her that morning, and then I was like, hey, so are we still on for today? I like to make sure, you know, just in case people forget, like, hey, like we're hanging out today. Like some people aren't very good with like organizing their events in their life. Sometimes they forget, like, oh yeah, I told Tamara I'm gonna hang out with her. Sometimes people forget, like, we're supposed to hang out, and I just wasn't in the mood for that because I had nothing to do. Like I had no other plans, and I wanted to hang out with her. So I was like, hey, we're all good, right? And then she was like, yeah, of course. So I was like, okay, good, sure. And I've never had any issues with her in the past, so I'm thinking everything is Gucci. Like, she'll be at my house around 2-ish. Right? So, so we're texting back and forth, and basically, long story short, 2 o'clock rolls around, and then she's not here. And then, so I'm like, texting her, and then she stops texting me back, and then like it's like 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, and I'm texting her and I'm calling her, and she's not texting me back, she's not calling me, like no response. And I'm snapping her and DMing her because it's like hours after 2 o'clock at this point, like hours. I had to be somewhere at like 7, so we were gonna hang out between the hours of like 2 and 7. So it's like 5, 6 at this point, and she's not answering my calls or my texts or anything like that. So I literally go to like a youth meeting at like 7, and she still has not called or texted me back, and she literally just like ghosted me completely, like altogether. So basically, I went to this youth meeting, and I came home, and then Saturday, I'm like, yo, what happened to you yesterday? And she's still not texting me back. She's not answering my calls. She's not returning any of my texts, none of my snaps, none of my DMs, nothing. So I text our mutual coworker friend, who could be anybody, so don't get slick, okay? So what did I name her? Amber. So Amber is texting me, and then I'm like, hey, I almost said her real name. Wow. So yeah, Becky and I were supposed to hang out yesterday, and then we didn't because like she never texted me back, never called me or anything. Like I don't know what happened. So it's awkward. And then Amber was like, oh, that's weird. But she was like a flaky friend beforehand. Like back when we used to work at so-and-so restaurant. So I'm not super surprised, but like she hasn't texted you back since today. And I'm like, no. So at this point, like I'm worried. Like I don't even care. We didn't hang out. That's not my concern. My concern is, are you alive? Are you breathing? Is everything okay, ma'am? Is oxygen still your main, like, nutrient? Are you good? Like, what's going on? So, basically, she was like, oh, let me text her. So, I'm like, oh, yeah, go text her. And then the girl doesn't, and then Becky doesn't text her back either. So, I'm like, what's the joke? What's the joke? So, literally, I'm going to insert all of these receipts because you know I have the tea with the receipts, honey. We love a queen with receipts. So basically, you're going to see all of these receipts, or all of these receipts. I don't know where I'm going to put it. Usually I end up being like, it's going to be over here. And then it's over here. And then I look dumb. Nothing new. So literally, you're going to see him being like, are you okay? Are you okay? You good? You good? Like, where are you? Please respond. Just let me know you're okay. It's going to be like a whole thing. So So then she doesn't text whoever back. So literally, like, it's Sunday. It's like, I think we literally go like 3 days without speaking, and then she's still not answering my calls or texts, and she's not posting anything on Snap. Like, I know that doesn't mean like she's not okay, but like she's not texting me for days, and like everything was fine. Like, I don't get it. So everything was cool, and then finally she texts me back like this bogus text message or whatever. Like, essentially what I gathered from this response was I didn't pay my phone bill or something to that effect. So she ended up being fine. I'm not gonna invalidate her response. I really don't even know what to believe at this point. So I don't know. So basically, I was talking to, not Becky, the other one, Amber. I was talking to Amber, and then Amber was like, "Oh yeah, she's fine," and I was like, "How do you know she's fine?" This is before Becky actually texted me back, like Sunday whatever time. And then Amber was like, "She's fine," and I was like, "How do you know she's fine?" And then she's like, "Oh, she just posted on her Instagram story." So I go on her Instagram, because I want to see the story, and then there is none. And you know what that means, ladies and gentlemen. It means we have a problem now. So then I'm like, "What are you talking about? I don't see any story." And then she's like, "It's right here." And you know how you can screen record now? She screen recorded the story that was like from that one of the nights she wasn't texting me back. And then she was like, "She's at a party." And I was like, "Oh, so she's fine?" Okay. Okay. So then I call her out on it because I'm just like, "So why can't I see your Insta story?" And she was like, "Oh, I don't like my family to see it. You know how that goes, blah, blah, blah." And I'm like, to each their own, I suppose. But I'm like, okay, whatever. I guess that makes sense. But I'm still trying to give her the benefit of the doubt. Like, if you never had an issue with somebody and then suddenly you have like one incident, but the person is okay, and they eventually like text you back, you're like, "Oh, okay, it's like whatever. Like, I'll get over it." So we make plans to hang out again. Mistake. So last Friday, the one that just passed, it's Monday now, like I said before. So this is a fresh story time, honey. This is fresh. So last Friday we had plans to hang out again, basically like same concept. But she told me before, like, "Hey, I might not be able to get the car to like go to your house, like, cause she's living with her grandparents while she's in New York until she goes back to Texas. So she's not gonna be able to use her grandpa's car." So I'm like, "Oh, okay, that's fine." But 2018, you can get around anyway these days. There's Uber, Lyft, buses, trains, planes. So she's like, "Oh, I'm gonna have to take the bus," and I'm like, "Okay." But then we started talking about Uber, and then she was like, "Oh, I would Uber, but like I'm broke," and I'm like, "Oh, okay, that's fine, whatever." So I'm like, I mean, I guess take the bus, but I think she suggests, wow, English, taking the bus. And then she's like, "It's gonna take 2 buses to get to you, like from where I live." So I'm like, okay. I had to be at school for like some rehearsal thing, and then for my last final, I had to go to theology or whatever. So basically, we were supposed to hang out like 2 when I got out of theology and was gonna be home. So especially since she's not like super far, but she has to take 2 buses to get to me. So that's supposed to take like an hour, like tops, really, like from where, like the distance, because like I know where she was residing, not the exact location, but I know like the area, and it would take like an hour tops. So basically, we planned to meet up at 2, and then we're texting all this stuff, and I'm already home. I already went out, and then I was coming back. So I called her and I was like, "Oh, do you want anything outside?" And she didn't answer. So I'm like, okay, whatever. But then I get home and then she's like texting me and she's like, "Oh, sorry, I just saw you called, blah, blah, blah." And then she starts talking to me still about how she's going to take the bus and everything. And then by this time it's like 3-ish. So like, mind you, it's already like past the time we're supposed to hang out. So it's like 3 something. And then this is the time where she tells me she has to take the bus. And then by like 3:30 she's like, oh, like I'm just getting on the first bus. It's like something to that effect. I think it's 3:30. And then I'm like, oh, okay. So you'll probably be here by like 4 or something, which is like fine. Even though I have to like be somewhere at 7, but like it's fine if I see you for like 2 hours and then like we can part ways and everything. And then like I text her at 4:30 and I'm like, oh, like where are you? And then she's like, oh, I'm 15 minutes away or something like that. After 15 minutes, like I'm waiting outside my door to see, like just want to make sure she didn't get lost or anything, just so I can make sure that she can like get in my house safely, because I want to make sure she didn't get lost with all the houses in my neighborhood, because they all look relatively similar. So I'm texting her and I'm like, oh, like where you at? And then she doesn't answer. My other friend, Kezia, whose name doesn't need to be bleeped out because she's one of my closest friends. I've known her since high school, so she doesn't need to be bleeped out. It's fine. So she asked to actually come by, and I'm like, yeah, sure. You're gonna meet my friend Becky because she's supposed to come over and like hang out with me. And then she's like, oh, that's cool. So she comes and she like bikes over here. She puts her bike down, and then we end up like chilling. And then, mind you, Becky was supposed to be here at 2. And it's now like 6. So I'm texting her like, hey, like where you at? And then me and Kezia are hanging out for like the longest time already. And Kezia leaves around 8-ish. Like 8-ish, around there. Because like her mom wanted her home or whatever. Which is not a relevant part of the story. But I hung out with my friend Kezia. And then the thing I needed to go to at 7 got canceled. So I'm literally just waiting for Becky to get there so that we can hang out. Because I don't have anywhere else to go. And then I'm texting her and calling her, and she's not answering at all. So then Kezia goes home, and then I text Amber again, like, do you know that she didn't show up again? Like, how did this happen to me again? Like, how you have me out here looking stupid again? But then I'm like waiting for an explanation, because last time at least she explained. It took a couple days, but you know, she texted me back. And then Amber was like, oh, like, what do you mean? Like, she was supposed to meet with you? And I'm like, yeah. And then she was like, she's in Brooklyn. And I'm like, Brooklyn? Fabulous Brooklyn? Like, do you know that's the opposite direction of where I live? Seriously? So then I'm like, what do you mean she's in Brooklyn? And she's like, oh, it's on her Insta story. And I'm like, let somebody else say the words Insta story, because we're gonna fight. And so again, I go on Instagram and I'm looking at her story to see like what's going on. And she still doesn't have a story. So I'm still blocked. Okay, I'm still blocked. So I'm looking and I'm getting heated because I'm just like, why am I still blocked? After I already confronted you the first time about being blocked. So, like, what's the tea? What's the deal? What's going on? So, she's like, what do you mean you can't see her story? Like, her story's right here. So, basically, she was in Brooklyn riding bikes with this other girl. And I'm like, okay, so, like, if you didn't want to hang out with me, or there was an issue, or you just wanted to hang out with your other friend, like, why couldn't you just tell me that instead of having me out here worried, sick, looking dumb in these streets out here? Like, I'm literally posted up on my couch looking for someone who is in Brooklyn. Like, do you know how dumb I look? Do you know how dumb I look? I should just have stupid written on my forehead. Like, really? And then she's like, wow, like, she really did you dirty, blah, blah, blah. And what was even funnier was the fact that she posted an Instagram picture. And I follow her on Instagram. And I'm not blocked from her Instagram, just her story. So literally I see this picture and I'm like, what happened to you today? And she didn't answer me. And she posted another Instagram after that. And she answered the person above me. So I know she saw my comment. I know you saw it. I know you saw it, Becky. You saw it. So what's the deal, Becky? What's the deal, Becky?
Miley, what's good?
So, after that, I was like, I'm gonna call you out on your foolishness, cause you not about to have me out here looking dumb in the streets. No, you not. No, you not. This is a bomb. So, I texted her and I was like, listen, I don't even remember what I said, but I said something like, how did 15 minutes turn into you never showing up? Or something like that. Shady, bro. Shady. And then she's never texted me back, like, to this day. And I texted her that either Friday or Saturday, and it's Monday now. So, like I said, 24 hours till after I put this video up, or, like, don't text me after that. Like, unfollow me on Instagram. I'm unfollowing you. Like, it's it. That's it. And then my friend was saying how she's flaky too. Like, she's flaked on her, and I'm like, okay, this is really good to know. But, like, that is my petty story time. And like I said, if you're watching this, 24 hours. 24. Not 25. 24. So basically, guys, that is my story. And I hope that you enjoyed this petty story time. I hope you enjoyed tea with tea. I hope you enjoyed tea with tea. Like the video. You were supposed to like it before, but I'm giving you another chance. I'm giving you another chance right now. Like the video. So let's listen. Just like the video so we don't have to square up. Just like the video. You think this is a joke? Listen, if you're not about to like the video, leave your ad. I'm kidding. Comment, subscribe. Let me know if you liked it. And if you didn't like it, let me know that you liked it. So I know that, you liking it is letting me know that you like it. So I can make more story times like this, I love you all. Follow my social medias below that I put in the description box if I remember. And I will see all of your lovely and beautiful faces in the next one.